What's up, guys? I hope all's good here in Singapore airport now in Changi Airport. I've got you guys set up on a bin here while I talk, and I'm in a squat position because, you know, fitness things. But yeah, you know, me and Laura were just chatting there about how, you know, when you travel you kind of realize, I guess, how big the world really is. And I think one of the things that people don't do is realize that sometimes. They don't realize how big the universe is. And I think when you do come to the realization, you kind of end up in this predicament where you're like, Jesus, I'm fairly insignificant. You know, it's like the world's population is inflating to like 8 billion, you know, and the Earth in the grand scheme of the cosmos is, you know, relatively irrelevant. You know, in the grand scheme of things, we're tiny, we're a speck in the universe. And I think if you think back to how ancient cultures like would have worked, I suppose a lot of religious beliefs would lead one to kind of think that there was a very, you know, a certain meaning to life, or that the Earth was, you know, the center of the cosmos and you were like the center of your world. And as a result, like, you kind of have meaning in that you think that the sun and the stars and everything beyond the Earth is there to support life on Earth and there to support us, as if we are something special. Whereas I think if you take a more modernized view of the world, you kind of end up realizing that, oh, that's not really how things work, and we're just kind of, you know, here by chance. We've just kind of evolved to just be this big population because we evolved from a bundle of cells and became this big population because we reproduced. And it's like, that can cause you to kind of lose significance to a degree, and could lead you to be, you know, just lazing around all day, just doing nothing, because you're like, ah, fuck it, you know, life is nothing, it's insignificant. Whereas there's a more helpful way of looking at that. Like, you can adopt the perspective that life is insignificant, so nothing matters, or you can adopt the perspective that, you know, alright, okay, human life in the grand scheme of the cosmos mightn't be as significant as we once thought, and you as an individual might not be that significant, but within your own world and within your own perspective, you are pretty much everything. And the fact that you have the power to make choices to essentially just decide what your meaning of life is, then that's pretty empowering, and that gives you the freedom to kind of go and take fucking charge of your life and do whatever it is that you want. Because if you had, let's say, a very strict religion, then you would be tied to this certain ideology that tells you that this is the meaning of life, this is what the goal is, and this is where we're all aiming for. Whereas when you're maybe not tied to that quite as much, as we're generally not in modern culture, you have the freedom to kind of dictate your own choices, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna put my meaning of life into, you know, or my purpose rather, into, you know, helping people better their health. Therefore, everything I do hereafter is going to be kind of toward that goal. You know, that's going to be where I'm going to put my efforts. And in the meantime, you know, I'm going to do things like, you know, have good relationships. I'm going to do all of the things that make me a good human so that I can do the best job in that arena. And I think that's a nice way of thinking about things. Just because I think it's very easy to kind of fall into like an existential crisis where you're like, oh dude, what's the meaning of life? Nothing matters. I'm just gonna fucking sit around and do nothing because I'm gonna die anyway. Or you could just, you know, adopt the perspective that I think I would be closer to, and say that, alright, I'm gonna die. It's all kind of meaningless in the grand scheme of things, so why the fuck don't I just take charge and, you know, run my own life from here, rather than letting someone else's kind of thoughts of me or society's expectations, you know, dictate how I live my life. So I think that's a nice way of looking at it. It's just something that came into my mind as me and Laura were chatting about, you know, the population of the world and stuff, and hopefully that gives you guys some things to put in that brain to think about. And if you are in that position where you're in that existential crisis, thinking nothing matters and that you don't matter, remember that while you may not be the center of someone else's universe, you are the center of your universe, you know, essentially. So it's your decision, you know, how the metaphorical planets of your life, you know, how they circulate. So yeah, that's enough for now. Going to go back, enjoy some of the sun, and then we're going to fly to Bali, and we'll see you guys in Bali. Hello! And here are the planes. So there we go. Planes were my first love. Before I ever cared about any of this health and fitness stuff, these were the things that I used to love. I always wanted to be a pilot. There's no big ones here though. We're not looking at the right side of the airport. There are some A380s and stuff like that, but not on this runway, unfortunately. happy girl. Stop. We'll walk and talk. Can you film me while we walk? We will. Just for like 2 minutes. So, we just had our lunch. I look like I won't say the word. Yeah. Yeah, so we just finished our lunch in Ubud, whatever, I don't want to say it because I'm going to say it wrong, in Bali.
In Sari Organic.
In Sari Organic, so would recommend. It was pretty good. And one of the things I think that's pretty obvious about Bali, or here in Ubud rather, is that they have a load of like Instagram food places, which is good because it makes it like real healthy. It's very easy to eat healthily here. It's all kind of like, you know, vegan, organic, that whole kind of vibe, because probably just influenced by the fact that so many people do come on holidays here, and you know, it's like, it's kind of trend.
And they have so much fresh produce here.
Yeah, they do have a lot of fresh produce.
It's cheaper for them than to import stuff.
Yeah, but it's pretty good. It's pretty easy to eat well here, so if you are thinking of having a holiday where you can actually come and eat well and not just, you know, drown yourself in pizza and ice cream and burgers, then Bali's probably a pretty good option, especially because
even though I just got pizza.
Even though she just got, yeah, but you had feta and cauliflower, like that's hashtag health right there. But like, you know, the environment is so nice as well that like you'd be a fool to just be sitting around the pool and doing nothing with your day as well. So very easy to stay active and healthy and all that in Bali. It was good, man. 100% fat free. Hashtag health. Do you get me any?
You can have some of this, there's only one cup left.
Cucumber, strawberry and what?
No, it's just strawberry and lime.
Strawberry and lime infused.
Do you want it on the bread?
Yeah, go for it. House salad to start for our lunch. And some garlic. Just is it garlic oil? Garlic oil.
Yeah.
And course number 2, chicken satay, some rice, mixed vegetables, and a leaf with some carrots. So we spent the morning exploring Ubud, and we're tired, so we got in our 15,000 steps. So yeah, it's been an active day. It's like 3 PM now, so what we're gonna do, chill out for a while and then go out for dinner later, do a bit more exploring and probably do some more fun stuff and bring you guys along tomorrow. But for now, I'm gonna chill here with some pineapple, bottle of Heineken Light and get some work done on the laptop. So yeah, we'll catch up with you guys later. I got my green goddess juice, Tower of Power, which is purple sweet potato and regular sweet potato and something.
No, it's pumpkin.
Oh, it's pumpkin. Pumpkin. Purple sweet potato, greens, and something I don't know the name of in the middle, Jamaica or something. Laura has a coconut curry, rainbow coconut curry with some fly lice and a coconut smoothie. That is very nice.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Turns to sun rays, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and
Tell us what the story is of the coffee.
Right, exactly. Luwak, the special animal native to Southeast Asia.
Okay.
But the center of Luwak coffee in the world you can find just in Bali and Java Island.
Okay.
Yeah. The Luwak coffee has less caffeine because when the Luwak swallow it, the coffee bean, happen the chemical reaction between the enzyme in the intestine of the Luwak stomachs with the diuretica caffeine in the coffee bean.
Okay.
The Luwak coffee has less than 0.8% of caffeine, like that. Okay. Actually, the coffee bean has high important thing for our body. For example, like chlorogenate acid, humid acid, fat, protein, aliphatic acid, and then diuretica caffeine.
Yes, sir.
Mostly our product, more than 60%, we export to Europe and then to United States of America. But just 40% we sell here to our tourists. Yeah. And then the discovery of Luwak coffee, we know the Luwak coffee since the colony era in Indonesia, when the Netherlander people stay here in Indonesia. Okay. And then I have idea, we process the pulp under the coffee plantation to be like a coffee powder, like that. Yeah, little bit crazy, but it tastes so delicious.
Is it more expensive?
Exactly. I think the most expensive in the world, because the demand in the international coffee market always increase from time to time, but the production very safe, like that. And then maybe down, like that, because dependent with the Luwak consumption. Per one Luwak they can produce just 100 and then 120 gram wet pulp. And then we wash by the hot water and then we drying under the sun until we get the green bean. We get just around 70 until 80 gram.
Okay.
Like that.
So it's a lot of work to produce like a kilo of it or something.
Exactly. Yeah. We have more than 200 luwak, but in Kintamani High.
Oh yeah.
In
So
here,
they just poop it out, then you come along, clean it up, wash it down, dry it out.
Yeah, for the sterilization process.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. We use the international coffee organization standard, like moisture content standard, temperature standard.
Okay.
Like this, we collect like this in the morning from the keg or from the coffee plantation, and then we wash by the hot water, and then until we get the clean bean, sir. Clean bean, and then after that we dried under the sun for 5 until 7 days. Under the sun for 5 to 7 days until we can open the hard skin. This one the hard skin, and then like this, yeah, we can peel off the hard skin, and then we get like this. We export like this, sir. Yeah, the moisture content of this bean around 10 until 12%.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you make a cat poopchino.
Exactly. This is process. We need around average 30 until 45 minutes, and then we must stirring it all of the time until we get the brown like this, yeah. We get like this, and then we must ground it like this. Use the traditional tool. In here, in our agro.
Make our own coffee over here. So you just have someone doing that, and then how many grams would that make? Like maybe like a kilo or?
Until 1 kilogram. Until 1 kilogram. 1 kilogram or more.
It's a lot of work. You can understand why it's expensive, I guess.
Yeah, like that. I think the coffee actually has a long history and then long process until we can serve on the table, from the coffee plantation until on the table. Very, very long process. And then after that, we can sip things like this, and then we sip things, and then the rogue one we put back.
Oh, it's very fine.
And then we get like this. That's smelly. Yeah, that's smelly. Without cream, without sugar. And then it's very, very bitter.
Just good, strong black coffee.
Right. When the coffee time, usually for me, especially for me, I discuss with my parent or with my family member about my problem, about everything. Yeah, on my front yard, because every home in Bali usually has like a rice storage like that, and then we sit down there and then drink coffee.
Drink coffee.
And then we discuss about everything, about education, about scholarship, and then about culture and anything.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's a coffee.
So we got a taster of 15 different coffees / teas. The Luwak, which is that one, that's the poopy one. And then we've got Bali coffee, coconut coffee, ginseng coffee, vanilla coffee, Bali cocoa, I'm not sure which one that is, pandanus tea, mangoestine, rosella tea, lemon tea, spice tea, lemongrass tea, ginseng tea, ginger tea, and cinnamon tea. So we will be well caffeinated for the drive back. So this is the Luwak coffee, or cat poopchino, supposedly the most expensive coffee in the world. It is nice and it does taste a little bit different, but it's good.